Hi everybody, welcome to the Roadshow presentation. We will be covering a lot of material, so just follow through as you can and hopefully we'll answer all your questions. So we'll start off with a little bit of marketing material. So we now have an operations community marketing team in the field to help on a local store basis. So some of the things that they'll be covering with you and helping you with is driving your local traffic and profit, going through new local store marketing initiatives. So this is, saying, hey, I'm slow on Wednesdays from 3 to 5 p.m. What can I do for this? They can offer advice or go through ideas with you or show you some of the initiatives the marketing department has. They'll work as a liaison for you, so from the local store level to the national marketing team, they'll be your person to go to for any questions or concerns regarding marketing. They'll be your direct resource, essentially. They'll help you with any regional partnerships you want to explore, and they'll also help with any new store openings in the future. What is the Marketing Resource Center? Formerly known as Marketplace, we now have the Market Resource Center. This is where you can find any Dickeys related collateral for any initiative that can be implemented. So this can be delivery, curbside catering. You'll have those individual initiatives I spoke about previously. So lunch special, kids eat free, that kind of thing. You can find all of your material on the Resource Center. Well, we're also working on the pricing. So we'll continue to work on lowering the pricing for the owners to make the collateral more affordable. Next slide. Okay, so here are some of the initiatives, and this is what I spoke about earlier in the previous slide. These are things that all the marketing department is working on for the owners to have to implement in the stores that your OCMs will be able to help you with. So on the next slide, you'll see what the Marketing Resource Center looks like. It's been reorganized by promotion, so now you can find exactly what you're looking for without having to search through the entire site. If you do not have a login for the Market Resource Center, please submit a boss ticket to the marketing department and we will get you set up so that you can have access to this website. So any questions about marketing can be directed to marketing@dickeys.com or submitting a boss ticket to the marketing department. So moving on to the delivery program. So Dickeys has created their own delivery program. So there are a couple expectations that come from the program, obviously to make you more profitable, to drive the incremental store sales, adding a new revenue stream, preventing any check count loss to any of the competitors surrounding your area, and then using a hybrid model. So what this means is using both direct delivery and third-party vendors for delivery. A couple of things we'll cover throughout the delivery program. Number one is we know that our brand already works with delivery. So we are already delivering food in our catering vans. We're already using third-party vendors, and that's where the hybrid model comes into place. We also know that the industry, the fast casual industry, has already fully embraced direct delivery. So you have lots of other stores and restaurants around you that are already implementing this. And then the third thing is how to make delivery profitable for the store. So here's an example of some third-party vendors that you may already work with right now. As you know, third-party vendors are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. So the purpose of the direct delivery program is to use the third-party vendors when your store isn't able to execute the delivery. So if in or you don't, somebody quit or you're short-staffed, etc. That way the third-party vendors can step in and still take your deliveries. So here are some examples of places that are now implementing direct delivery. Wingstop, Panera does delivery now. Pizza Hut delivers beer at this point. Denny's has done delivery. And so these are just showing examples of the fast casual industry and how they're moving. The next slide is a poll that was performed that shows about 50% of people would prefer to order from your direct platform. So that means people that are wanting delivery, they want to order from Dickeys. They want to see the Dickeys logo on the shirt. They want to see the store employees coming and dropping off the food. It's all about controlling the customer experience. So how we're going to make direct delivery work, there are a couple things that we're going to do for the stores. So that's the 90-day prep period. And that's just the roadshow. So that's why we're going over all this information with you so you can know how to execute delivery, put in your labor, your delivery fee, all that. There will also be a 90-day royalty rebate launch period. So what this means is from August 1, when this becomes brand standard, through October, so the first 90 days, all of the royalties that you pay on your delivery will be rebated back to you in January. So this is to help offset the startup costs of delivery. There will be a couple brand standards set in place to also help offset the cost and help with your margins. The first thing will be an online ordering corporate suggested price. So this means anything a guest orders online. So delivery, your original online ordering, or catering, we're suggesting a 6% price increase. So these are things you can adjust inside your dashboard where you adjust your pricing probably previously, and you'll just go in and adjust it to 6%. There will be a $10 minimum order. This is set in place so that people aren't ordering very small amounts of food and then having to go 5 or 6 miles to deliver the small order. There will also be a $5 delivery fee. This fee is revenue for the store, so it goes directly back to you to use however you like, so paying your delivery driver, insurance fees, gas fees, etc. And then there will be a delivery radius that will be put into place. So those kind of depend on where your store is at. So if you're urban, suburban, or rural, kind of depends on what our recommendation is. So for example, if you're a suburban area, the recommendation is 2.5 to 4 miles. This is adjustable per store, and like I like to say, you know your area best. So if you feel you don't need to go as far as 4 miles, or you need to go a little bit further than 4 miles, that's something you can definitely set inside your dashboard. In August, the national marketing message will be "We Deliver." So you will have help from the national office. You have your TV commercials, social media presence will be huge. We've got tons of collateral that's being developed for you guys on the Marketing Resource Center, and you can go on there and find anything that you'd need. So moving forward, the next couple slides are growth models. Dickeys did a trial run of approximately 6 months with about 20 test stores. So from those 20 test stores, we've pulled average data points and we've plugged them into our models here. So the top 4 numbers are the most important, and they're the only numbers that will change throughout the models that you'll see in the following slides. So taking a look here in August, we found the average check amount was $40. So if you're doing a $40 check amount, you're doing 2 orders a day, so 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, paying your driver $10, which is just the national delivery driver average, and then not adding any hours per day. So that means somebody that's already working behind the line jumps out, takes the delivery, and comes back. Your average daily net profit will be $45. So keep in mind these first 3 models, so the first 90 days, do not have royalties included because these will be rebated back to you. So we're moving forward. As we get into month 3, the only thing that has changed on these models are the average check amounts, or I'm sorry, the average orders per day, the hours per day. So as time goes on, the goal is to keep increasing your average orders a day. So if you're doing 10 orders and you have a designated delivery driver for 4 hours that day, your daily net profit projection is $220. The next 90 days put your royalties back into what your projections are. So like I said, nothing with the top numbers are changing other than the average orders a day and the hours per day. So if you look at month 6 here, this is the goal. You're working towards 25 orders a day and having your delivery turned on all day. So from 11:30 to 8:30, you're adding your royalties back in, adding whatever your personal cogs and labor, etc. will be, and your daily net profit projection is about $500 a day. These next models, the model on the left, nothing has changed about it from the previous slide. The model on the right is showing the corporate suggested price. So this shows when you add the 6% on an average check amount of $40, it becomes $42. And then if you take a look down here at the bottom and compare the two daily net profit columns, it shows what the increase of 6% will do to your net profit. This slide is for marketing purposes. So like I said, Dickeys did a trial run from October until April. The column on the left here that says test stores versus the column on the right that says non-test stores. The left column had marketing. The right column had no marketing. So over the 6 months, it shows with the marketing efforts we had, the check amount increased about $15. So that will show how important marketing will be for the startup of our delivery program. So going over some conclusions here, things we already know, delivery should be a brand standard, and then direct delivery should be included in what we already offer, especially if we're already working with third-party vendors. We also have an overview of risk management here on the next slide. So this just shows what the risk is having only third party, only direct delivery versus using our hybrid model. So if you take a look here, it shows the hybrid model really is the way to go. We also have an overview of everything I just spoke about. So if you want to refer back to this coming up when you're going into your dashboard, you have the $10 minimum order, the $5 delivery fee. Your goal is to have it on from 11:30 to 8:30. If you can't do that at the beginning, you can start with half a day, etc., whatever works best for your store. And then looking at your urban, suburban, and rural delivery area recommendation, just looking and seeing where you identify with the best and then plugging that in as well. So Laura is going to go over some of the awesome online dashboard settings for you, and then we will continue through.
All right, hi guys. All right, so I'm just going to go through the quick mechanics of how to turn the dashboard on for your direct delivery. So the first thing you're going to see is that you're going to go into your location setting. So on the left-hand side of your dashboard, you're going to select locations like you would for a regular online order. You're going to select your location, and then you're going to go to the third tab over, which is the order settings tab. And this is where all of the settings will be for delivery and curbside. So the first thing you see here, the order settings. So this is where you want to order how many orders you think you can fulfill within a 15-minute time period. So if you think that you can fulfill 3 orders within that time, then that's what the number you would put. If you think it's less than that, then you would adjust accordingly, or more than that, adjust accordingly. Make sure you hit the update button, and then that will update the online time for when the guests can, it'll set the delivery options for their time frames. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to actually define your delivery settings. So in the same tab of order settings, you're going to scroll all the way down to the delivery option, and you're going to turn it on. So to turn it on, you slide the little button over to the right and it turns yellow, and then that allows for the next settings to be input into place. So the first things you want to make sure that you are setting is the order amount, the minimum. This is your order. We suggest the $10 is the minimum. You can't go any lower than that. But if you feel like you need to go up in that to make delivery profitable for you, then that is absolutely your prerogative to do so. Also, another way to adjust is the number of items. So you can set a minimum and maximum amount. So if you'd like for your guests to order $10, but you want them to order 2 items, this is where you would select that. And then the additional charges are your delivery fees, lead time, and delivery radius. So this next screen is showing you exactly, once you've turned everything on for everyday delivery, you are going to see the minimum order. This is your $10. Of course, it's adjustable. The maximum order amount, if you want to say $50, or you don't have to put anything in there at all. The next option is the minimum number of items. So 1 is the default. You can change this if you want to, or not change it at all. It's completely up to you. The next thing you want to look at is the $4.99, and that is where your delivery fee is going to be. So $5 is what we're suggesting as a standard. However, and that is the average for all of your third-party vendors. That is the average delivery charge nationwide. So we are on par with the delivery fee of $5. So next you see the little toggle button that says tax additional charge. So what that is that if your city or state requires you to tax the delivery fee, you would simply turn that button on and it would calculate the taxes for you automatically. The next thing you see is the lead time. So it's automatically defaulted to 30 minutes. So that means that you are giving yourself 30 minutes plus the 15 for delivery. So if you want to adjust that to higher, you're welcome to do so. The last field you're going to want to fill in is the delivery radius. And like Taylor spoke about earlier, this is going to depend on your store location. So this is, if you're in a suburban area, of course, you want to go from between 2.5 to 4 miles. If you're in more of a rural area, then you can go further out. So this is where you want to think about how long is it going to take, or how far can I get within the 45 minutes time to prep and deliver the food. We want to deliver hot food and we want to deliver on time. So we do recommend that you start out smaller and work your way further out on your radius versus starting out as a large radius and then having to work your way back down. So once you filled all of that out, you would hit update and it would update your settings immediately on your online on Dickeys.com for your store. So that is how you turn your delivery on. So next we're going to talk about curbside. Curbside is where a guest makes an online order, and instead of getting out of their car and coming into the store to pick up their food, they arrive at the store, let you know that they're there, and then you take the food out to them. That's simply all curbside is. Curbside is only available on the mobile app. So if your store is not on the mobile app, it's probably because you're still on ATO. But this is where the option for curbside would be. The guests would place the curbside order, and then once they arrive at the location, within the app, they would press the check-in button, which I will show you in just a moment, and it would alert on your dashboard, make a sound, and you would take the food out to the guests. So this next slide is just shows you what the app looks like for a curbside order. This is where they're going to put their make, model, color, and the license plate number when they place the order, and this information is stored so they don't have to enter it every single time. Next, the next picture is when they arrive at the location, they would go into the app, select check in, and then it would alert on the iPad or the tablet that you're using for your online orders, and it would alert you to let you know that the guest is there and to take the food out to them. So that's curbside. To turn it on, it's literally you turn it on. So you see the yellow button, you either turn it on or you turn it off. All of those options are there for you to make, but there isn't a minimum amount of order required for curbside, as it's literally just a pickup option. So you turn it on, hit update, and it would update automatically on the website. So that's curbside, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Next, we're going to speak about the catering CRM. So you've probably heard about it by now, but a catering CRM is just a customer relations management module. This is not something new that we've created. This is just something we're building off of and we've made it our own. So all of the Spark Direct is where we're going to do our catering orders that include mobile, online, and the 866. So these will all be integrated together, and we'll be working in tandem together on that. So some of the benefits of the CRM is we want to replace the current binder board binder system. So we know your stores get full of paper, they're full already of a lot of just different things, different items in your store. So we want to remove the clutter and become a little bit more organized in our system. Also, with the catering CRM, we now can allow the guests to pay online. We no longer have to input the payment information ourselves. If that is something they choose not to do, then we can absolutely give them a payment link and they can fill it out themselves online. Another benefit is the email messages. These are all customizable for you to follow up on your leads, follow up with your catering guests before and during and after the sales. And then last, we just want to be, more user friendly. We want to move up to the 21st century. We want to be able to gather data about the catering sales and to follow up with our guests and make the process a better experience for both them and for the guests and for you. So in order to get into the catering module, you will notice here on the screen that you have your orders, and then right below that is your caterings option. So the orders would be your online orders and your quick catering orders, but then the caterings are your large orders, your large caterings that they would normally have called 866. So these caterings will be entered not only by 866 catering experts, but they can also be entered in by yourself or by your team members within the store, within this module. So this gives you control a little bit more of your leads and following up with your guests. So in order to do that, this is just the dashboard. So once you've selected caterings, this is what you're going to see. So you see all of these columns. You have your favorites, your quote ID, the location. Catering expert is who actually inputted the catering quote. The customer, of course, is your guest, how much the quote is for, how much they've paid or not paid, the date of the event, and then the status. So that's just an overview of the dashboard. So I do want to make note that each column is sortable. So you can just select the header for each of these columns, and it will sort it either numerically or alphabetically, depending on what kind of data is in the column. Each field is also searchable. So if you're looking for someone named John Smith, you can type in the search bar John Smith, and it would pull all orders that had the word John and Smith in there together for you to search through. So it just makes it a little bit easier where you're not flipping through papers, not flipping through boards, you're not trying to go through binders and figure out a guest's information. Lastly, the status on the very far right of your screen, everything starts out as a lead. By the time you'll see it at your store level, it'll be a waiting location, and this is where you're going to go in and you will go in and accept the order, and then it sends a payment link to your guest. So these are just some of the status definitions, just leave for you to look through. Again, some more status definitions, so you'll understand the process of how the flow works. All right, and then, so as I mentioned before, not only can 866 enter this into the system, but you can also do this at store level. So for instance, a guest calls you directly at the store, you are able to input the information and give them a quote within a few moments, just like the 866 ladies do. All right, so in order to do that, you're going to select the little plus button at the bottom right hand of the screen, and then you're going to select the little pencil icon, and you will, the next screen shows where you're going to enter the location. You're going to press the plus button on the screen, and you're going to select your location. You would enter there, so you can search for your store number, select your store number, and hit OK. And then then it will move you to the next tab, which is the customer info. So there's one or two ways you can search for or enter information. So if this is a returning guest, someone who has already been input into the system, you can select the magnifying glass where it says customer, type in their name, and then it would pull up their information, and you can select the guest. However, if they've not been entered into the system, you put in their first, last name, email address, and their phone number, and hit update, and it would allow, and then it would move to the next screen. I also want to bring to your attention here the tax exempt option here. So those are for your guests who are making catering orders for nonprofits, such as churches and schools, so on and so forth. So you would just press the tax exempt button, and then the next screen would come up, and you would enter the tax ID number. So, and it's stored in there for forever, and you can look at it. So next, the next screen is going to be the actual event info. This is where you're going to actually put in all of the event information. So what kind of event is it, the number of guests, the event date and time, the location type, do they want a delivery, pickup, or curbside, and then the contact name and phone number. So the first thing you're going to select is the event type. You're going to put in what kind of event is it. Is it a birthday? Is it a church organization, a church catering event, corporate event, so on and so forth. You select the most appropriate for the occasion. Hit OK. And then you're going to put in the number of customers, the event date and time, handoff type, which would be your pickup, delivery, or curbside. If you select delivery, then you would input the delivery street address and all of the pertinent information there, and then the contact name and contact phone number. The contact name and phone number do not auto-populate for the simple fact that someone may be calling in an order for someone else for a business, and they're just relaying the information. Here's what they would like, and you need to contact the other person. So once you've entered all of that information, you'd hit update, and the next screen would come up, your order items. This is where you're going to actually put in what they would like to order. So you're going to select the subcategory first, which would be full service. Do they want party platters? They want meats by the pound? What exactly are the headings that they would like? And then once you've selected that, you would select the actual items within that subcategory. So for instance, this guest selected they wanted plates for their catering, and so then you would select which kind of plates and input the information under that. So this is where you would put, they wanted pulled pork plate, and what would they like for their sides to be, the sauces, and any particular notes that you need to place in there. So notice, I want to bring to your attention the prices on the far right side of the screen. These prices are going to reflect what you have put into your location prices when you set up your online ordering. So now these will default automatically to whatever price you've put in. However, these are customizable. For instance, if you do a catering for a car dealership and they want to do box lunches, and the price for your location is set to $9 for a box lunch, that's what's going to automatically default. But you're going to work with them, and because they're going to do repeat business, you're making a deal for $8 per box lunch, and this is where you can make that adjustment as well. So these fields are customizable and can cater to your guest needs. So once you've put that information in, of course, you can always add as many items as you would like to the order. So just select item, add item, and then input the information as you did previously. The last thing here on the order item screen I want to bring to your attention is the tips. So they can put a tip in up to the point of the order is paid in full. So they can change this if they would like throughout the entire process through payment up until that point of full payment. Also notice the discounts. There are two fields here. One is a percentage field and one is an actual dollar amount field. So if you feel that you need to give a percentage discount or a dollar amount, you would fill in the appropriate fields. And then at the bottom of the screen, it would give you your subtotal for each item or for each order as according to the items and how many people that you're catering for. You would select update and it would move to the payment screen. So this is what you would see. So this is where you can either input the card information for the guests themselves, if they would like for you to do that, or if they would choose, if they're choosing not to give you that information and don't feel comfortable with that, this is where you can this is where you would be able to email the guest and send them a payment link. If you choose to put the payment information in, and that's what they choose to do, then you just put the card number and all of the normal payment information that you would put anyway. All right, so I want to bring to your attention at the top of every single order within the catering order screen is a help tray or an order tray. So the first thing, moving from left to right, is your favorite. So this is something you can sort of tag an order for if that's someone you need to follow up with in the future, or maybe they're repeat guests that you want to keep an eye out for. You can organize that however you would like to. The next two buttons are for the quote information. So this would export a PDF form just gives a layout of what the guest ordered, all of the order information, that kind of thing for them to view, and you would be able to email that to them if you would like to. The next two buttons are the prep info, which we will go over here momentarily. The next button is the copy button, which is a really neat little feature. So for instance, you have a guest that did a catering 6 months ago and they call you and say, hey, I'd like to do the same exact order now. All you have to do is find that order from searching, pull it up and hit copy, and it would copy that order over. So you don't have to input that information over and over again or redo it and mess the order up. But you just hit that copy button, it copies everything over, starts the process all over again with a new catering quote. The email customer button is where you would select if they need the payment link again for to pay for their catering order, or if you need to see you need to email them about something, or if you're following up with a lead, and we'll go over the email option here in just a moment. The last three buttons are for the 866 team. That's where they will email you if they have a question, they can't get a hold of you, and then just the location info and menu. So as I mentioned before is the prep sheet. So you can just download this prep sheet and it lays out everything for you and gives you all of the prep information. So at the very top is the quote summary, location info, and customer info. So this just spells out everything that you've already previously entered through the system. And so you have that information available. The next one is the actual prep info. So this is where it's going to lay out for you exactly how many people made for the order, and then it auto calculates for you exactly how much of your proteins, how much of your sides need to be prepped for the order. It tells you what pans to put them in, how much to fill them up, so on and so forth. It lays out how many cutlery kits, how many desserts, so on and so forth, for you to make the appropriate portions and keep your waste under control. Last but not least, on the very far left of the prep sheet is the actual event information. The event date and delivery time are highlighted automatically. Just bring those to your attention. So again, as I had mentioned previously about the email the customer, this is if you select that email customer icon, this is the template that comes up. So this is all customizable, of course, so you can add information, delete information, follow up with guests with the email that they've input into the system. Once you send it, this is exactly what they would see on their end, in their email. So notice the ready to move forward looking with your booking event. Click here to review the order. So this is the payment link that you want to make sure that you are sending to them, and that just walks them through the payment link and reviewing the order for you. So that gives you all of the information for the catering CRM. And next up, we're going to talk about the loyalty program. So the loyalty program is new. It is nationwide and is available across all platforms, both Apple and Android. So it's available for use on those. The loyalty program is very simple. They make a purchase, they complete a survey, and they earn a point. For every survey completed, they get a point, and for 6 points, they get a free reward on the loyalty program. So the first screen that you see here on the left is just the home screen of when they pull up the actual app itself. So once they pull it up, this is what comes up. They would select the loyalty icon at the bottom, and then the screen on the picture on the right is what the 3 options they have for the loyalty program. So collect, check your rewards, and then learn about the program. So the first move they want to collect. So they're going to go into that option. They're going to input the store information, the store number where they were at, the date of their visit, receipt number, the amount of the receipt, and then they're going to take a photo of the receipt. The picture on the right just shows that when they select the store, this is the screen that comes up, and they can search for their store. Hit next, and then they're going to fill out a simple survey, which these are the same 4 questions as Talk to Dickeys. So we didn't change anything up on this. Same 4 questions. They're going to make a star rating, and then they can add a comment if they would like to. Hit submit, and it will come up and say thank you, and then to check your rewards. So notice the picture on the right. Notice the collect rewards screen is now grayed out. So what this means is they can only take 1 survey per 24 hours. So it locks that down for 24 hours, and after that it will unlock and they can complete another survey if they so choose. All right, so once they've collected their rewards or they've submitted surveys, they can check how many points they have, and this is what the screen would say. So you have under My Rewards heading what's available for them to use, or anything, the one on use, this is what they have used in the previously. So once they get to the next screen shows they only had 4 points. So of course the reward they're working towards is 6 points. So notice that button, that gray button says buy, and it's grayed out. So it's grayed out until they actually get 6 points, which you see on the next picture. So they would select buy, and then the next screen was successfully bought a new reward, and that reward becomes available on the check your reward screen under the available option now. So notice that the reward is only good for a certain amount of time. It is not available for forever, so that encourages them to use it right away within 30 to 45 days. And then notice the button, the claim button. So once they hit claim, they can claim their reward one of 2 ways. They can do it inside the app, or they can do it at the store. If they choose to do it inside the app, it requires them to start a new order, and then this just automatically adds to it within the app. If they choose to do it in store, notice the bottom below where it says redeem at restaurant, that it has a warning there that make sure you're already inside the location, because they only have a few minutes to redeem the reward. Once they select redeem, the picture on the right will pop up, and it will be a 30-minute timer. This starts counting down, and after the 30 minutes is up, that reward is considered redeemed. So notice you also have a point of sale code at the very bottom for you to input into the register. And then, so then you will have, once it's been redeemed, it would move over to the used option. So that's one thing you do want to make sure that you are training your staff on, is that if you do not see a moving timer, that means it's not a valid reward for them to be claimed. So there has to be, the timer has to be counting down. So this prevents screenshots and them reusing the same reward over and over again. The last option is about the program. So this just gives out the simple layout, purchase survey, and earn reward. So 1 point gets a survey, 6 points earns a reward. They do get a free big yellow cup for downloading and signing up on the app. In the future, there will be additional rewards for them to earn. They'll be changing up the rewards, of course. They'll be able to level up. They'll start banking rewards or banking points to earn larger items. And then they'll also be able to do things like birthday rewards, anniversary rewards. Thanks for being a loyal guest for a year. Here's your reward. So there will be different things coming down the pipeline in development for that. That concludes the loyalty portion. Next, we're going to talk about the core ops forms. So these, what we've done is we've taken the core forms that you guys fill out on an everyday basis, and we've just digitized them. So we have, you would sign in with an Office 365, and we can get you set up on that if that's something with your boss login. So this is all linked with your boss. You would sign in, and then you would select your store, and then you would select the next which form you would like to use. So once you've selected your store, and you have the option of the daily shift plan, you have open to close, daily sales building, the prep sheet, and then the store visit form is the one that will be used by the FD when they come to visit your store. So on these forms, the ones that have different times of the day that you need to fill them out, such as the open to close checklist. So for instance, you're going to fill out your morning information. You're going to slow all the way to the end, submit. At lunch, come back and fill out the afternoon checklist. Go to the end and submit, so on and so forth. So this data is saved throughout the day. At the end of the day, anything that has been submitted will be uploaded into Bot or into Smokestack for a report for you to review. So that data becomes historical, and you can go back and check out what you did last week or last month. And I believe that is it on the forms. Last thing we want to go over is the Dickeys portal. So this is a one location, one stop, one shop, everything Dickeys. So this is where you can log in and access everything that you need to in order to operate your store. So this has things such as Boss, Smokestack, your online dashboard. You can go to BU Online, watch SMTV, your Marketing Resource Center will be on there, and they'll be adding more and more things as we develop it out. So you're going to go to portal.dickeys.com. And anytime you see a black bar that says login with Microsoft account, you're going to want to select that. So always select the black bar. And once you've logged in with that, it's your boss credentials and the password that you will set up. So once you're in, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the 4 options. The first one takes you directly to Dickeys.com. The second one takes you directly into Boss, Smokestack, and then the Smoke Pit is the very last thing. That's what we're calling the actual portal. So once you select the Smoke Pit, this is what you're going to see. So these are going to be content that's going to be changed up throughout the year. So these are going to be your LTOs, your promos, featured stores, whatever else content they would like to upload on those. Down below the pictures, you'll see the different links, and those are going to be all the different things that you can get into with one click, including SMTV. So if you select SMTV, you would select your store number, and then select SMTV, and you'll be able to do your shift meetings throughout the day. The next thing you'll see as you scroll down from the Smoke Pit is the morning queue. So this is going to be uploaded when they send out the emails. You'll still be receiving the emails, but the content will be loaded here also. And then below that are the actual documents. So all of these are going to be how-tos, your ops manuals, anything that is up and coming, or things you need to know on how to operate your store. So all of those documents are loaded and available in PDF. So all you do is select one and it downloads in a PDF form. The last thing about the Smoke Pit are your corporate departments. So at the top of the screen, you'll see all of the different corporate departments here at the home office. So you can access any documents that they may have or any links that they put out there that are available for you to use. So that covers the Dickeys portal. And the last thing, I just want to do a quick reminder for you, for those stores who are ATO, that your fees will increase to $225.70 on August 1st. If you need your iPad updated, you'll need to submit a boss ticket, and we will be working with you to get that taken care of. And then if you would like to switch to Spark Online Ordering, just please send a request and an email to sparkpaperwork dickeys.com, and we will walk you through the process of getting you transitioned over to Spark Online Ordering. And that's it. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us. You can hit reply all to the email that you have this link in, and then we will work with you or reach out and call you and work with you on whatever questions you may have and help you better understand. So at this point, that concludes the presentation. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, just reach out via email.